Welcome to Bamfordrose and another question of the week. Today we're going to discuss upgrading a V8 Vantage or equally a DB9 on a budget. This gets commonly asked because someone might have purchased the car and then set aside a pot of money, maybe 5k, to transform the car into a bit more of a driver's machine rather than the sort of sedate machines they are standard. Unfortunately, a small budget doesn't go very far, and if you scale back from the bigger upgrades to a compromise package, it is just that, and I can't really advise going for that compromise package because the end result is a compromise compared to what could have been achieved if all of the upgrades were done. So specifically, I think we're talking about exhaust manifolds and catalysts, which, including VAT, we retail for £5,000. We've got lightweight flywheel twin plate clutch, which retails separately at 3,600, but we do a package deal at 8. And then suspension, especially for the older V8 Vantage that's on dynamics dampers and really want to upgrade to Bilstein to get much better handling, then there's a fixed rate damper or our electronic switchable solution. And the fixed rate damper with fitting with Geo is going to come in at about 4.5, whereas our electronic switching is going to come in at about 5.5, that sort of area. Depends, there's roll bars, a few other things to go for. So add all that lot up and we are talking over 12k's worth of upgrades, which in one hit to do is a lot of investment in the car. I appreciate that. But if someone says, okay, well, I've got a budget of 5k, then what you could say is, well, instead of the exhaust manifolds and catalysts, let's just do catalysts, which high flow catalyst, ECU remap, the M400 airbox modification, and we can get a good 20-30 horsepower out the engine for about 1,750 quid. On suspension, you could then say, well, okay, let's fit some lowering springs, make the standard setup a bit stiffer, and do a Geo. And you know, for 3k, that probably peps the car up quite a bit. The clutch upgrade, you have to have the components. There's no skimping on those. It has to be the flywheel, the clutch, the slave cylinder, and that comes in at 3.6. So you could go for that suspension springs slightly stiffer setup, could go for the high flow catalyst, not the manifolds, get the clutch in, and you know, that's a well improved car. It's just compared to having Bilstein suspension rather than putting stiffer springs on the Multimatic dampers, the Bilstein solution is night and day better. And the on-throttle responsiveness and the urgency of the engine and all the power that you get from going manifolds and catalysts as opposed to catalysts, well, that's well worth it. So instead of upgrading the car on a budget, my advice, you can and you might be happy with that smaller scale improvement. My advice would be to do it piecemeal. 1 year, pick which niggles you the most. Everyone gets niggled slightly differently. The poor clutch performance, pull away is difficult, or the crashy damping and a bit of body rolling, it might niggle someone, the suspension more than anything else. And also at service, if you're getting reports back of wear in clutch or leaky dampers, stuff like that, then that will naturally tell you which one to go for first. And I would do the full upgrade and do it piecemeal year by year, and ultimately then you'd have invested the sort of 12k figure in the car, but you'll have one heck of a driver's car, and that would be a better approach than, say, identifying a sum of money that achieves a compromise result and modifying the car that way. Just my opinion, choice is yours.